My name is Richard Mireles, and I want to welcome you to the Prison Post. This is your podcast for conversations surrounding the need to reform prisons from the perspective of formerly incarcerated people, community members, and leaders in the restorative justice movement. The Prison Post will feature an episode every Wednesday with people who are in the fight to restore lives and heal communities. Hey everybody, welcome to the Prison Post. My name is Richard Mireles. I'm here with my colleague and co-host Jason Bryant, whose title used to be the fastest man on the yard, but now
it did. You're talking like 2002 though. We're almost in 2022. That title's long been retired.
We're getting to the age where people don't believe those stories anymore. Like, you were fast? I don't think so. But Jay's the director of restorative programs. He's leading our Ready for Life program. We're super excited to have Elgin Rose on the show with us. What's up, Elgin?
What's up, Rich? What's up, Jason?
Hey, good to be with you. Elgin is 29 years old, right, Elgin?
Yes, sir.
He's a father of two beautiful girls. He's from San Francisco. He's a gamer, loves food. You wouldn't know by as thin as he is.
Hey, I can put it away, man. Metabolism ain't slowed down yet, so.
Okay.
Enjoy it while it lasts. Enjoy it while it lasts.
I am. Please believe that.
But Elgin is definitely a man who has dreams. His dream is to have a great career in tech so that he could be able to provide for his beautiful daughters and have the ability to travel the world someday. It's good to be with you, Elgin.
It's good to be with y'all this afternoon as well. It's a beautiful day outside, but it's kind of hot. So I'm inclined to the air conditioned unit that I call my apartment. So.
That's right. Thank God for AC.
Right. Right.
So Elgin, you have a talent, and it became aware to us when we were doing. It was a community event where we were contributing to another organization, raising some money, and you joined us, and you shared with us this amazing talent you have. And then before because I want to hear a couple of your new impersonations.
Yeah.
But you actually gave me a tremendous gift. I mean, we're gonna call it a gift, but at the same time, it might be a curse. You actually developed a little bit of an impersonation of me.
Yes, sir.
Which I heard is pretty spot on. So, but we'll bear our viewers and our listeners from hearing any other version of me for right now, and and we'll ask you to share a couple of your newest work with impersonations.
Okay, so for one, I'm a huge hip hop head, and I'm a '90s baby at heart. So I was devastated when we lost DMX this year. So but in his memory, I found some humorous moments. So, I was walking down the street, it was me and my man's probably gonna get a hot dog or something. I seen Shorty walk by and she was real jazzy. So I had to growl it. I was like, "Urgh." I was like, "Get her."
My man. That's right.
And my more famous one, y'all heard, I'll let y'all know it right now, but I'm a superhero fiend, superhero comics, and I love the Joker. So
all I want to know is, where is the Batman? Please tell me. Nobody has to die. Just let me know where the bat is.
That's so good, dude. That is such a good job, Elgin. You definitely have a talent there.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
It's always fun to learn when someone has a secret talent, and you continue to work on it. I never heard someone mention it today, but
exclusive, man. I had to come exclusive for y'all, man.
Yep. Thank you. And perhaps one of these days you got a good 20-minute spot or something, and 20 minutes of them hit that comedy.
Man,
I'll be there.
Man, I love to laugh and love making people laugh. That reaction I just got from y'all, that's everything. That's the only thing I look for.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's it. And Elgin, you're the fifth associate, Ready for Life associate, to join us on our podcast. And one of our goals is to have all of our associates be on the podcast, to tell their story, introduce them to the world. And, one of the things that I admired about you, learning about you early on, was that you're a single dad. Like we've been on Zoom now for 3 months, and we've had the privilege of hearing you be a dad during the Zooms. and we've seen your beautiful girls in the picture a few times in the background, wondering what Daddy's doing. But what is single fatherhood like? How did that come about? 29 years old. Too. How old are they? And
Well, my kids, my oldest daughter is 3. She just turned 3 May 18th. My youngest just turned 2 April 6th. So they're pretty young. I had in 2018 my oldest was born, and like prior, like I believe 3 months or 2 or 3 months after my second daughter was born, me and their mom just, it didn't work, and I mean, for a second, like, it was kind of like, well, like, damn, here's this guy. Because, like, I believe, like, the firm thing of belief is when you having kids with somebody, you got an idea of what you're trying to do with life, So the idea of us having to get apart and then try to raise 2 kids at the same time was like, it was hectic. It was hectic at first, but with the help of me being persistent and the grace of God and just the willingness of me wanting to have my kids around me, I've been able to, I unfortunately had to deal with family court because a lot of things wasn't going right on my end as far as me spending equal time with my kids. And I didn't want to have to go that route, but it turned out to be the best route. I've had my kids every week since. And it's been hard. It's sometimes hard, like I sometimes maintaining diapers and stuff like that. But I love it though. At the same time, I love it. I learn something new every day from them. They're just sponges and so smart. They just soak up everything. Like I don't know if you guys hear them. They're in the background right now giggling. They're supposed to be napping, but they're taking advantage of me at work. They know what's going on right now. So, but it's an experience that I wouldn't trade in for the world. Like even the days where it's stressful, when it's so stressful, I know on the flip side, I'm helping to raise 2 functional adults that can be whatever in the world that they want to be. So that's how I look at it every single day.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I just want to chime in because I'm a father of 2 young boys. I have a 2-year-old and an 11-month-old. And there's days where I feel like, I'm pulling out what little bit of hair I have left. And I got help. I've got my wife. So I definitely just want to, and 1 + 1, Rich's admiration for what you're doing as a single dad. I have some idea. But, if it wasn't for my wife, I think I probably would have jumped off the 5th tier by now.
If you guys could give me like a millisecond to just get them to lay down.
Sure. That's part of life.
Yeah.
Down,
what is before Alger comes back? All right. Part of life, part of being dad.
Yeah.
Yep. So good work, Elgin. I like that there's no quit in you. And come what may, I'm gonna raise these girls to be the best and to know that anything's possible for them. And that's largely one of our philosophies with Crop Organization, Ready for Life. Anything's possible. No matter if you're justice involved, you may have been incarcerated. I know at one time, like Jason and I, you were incarcerated at one time, but that doesn't limit you to what you can do and who you can be and the light you can bring to the world. And I see you doing that in their lives. Elgin, what about being incarcerated early on in life? I mean, man, you look about 18 years old, even though I know you're 29.
Man, my first incarceration. Well, I got removed from my home and I was in foster care. I became a ward of the state, a ward of the state, or whatever that's called, at like a young age. So I was in a group home the first time I went to juvie. I think I was about 14. And pretty much it's been that was my life until my first daughter was born. Like, like dead, like that's what it was. In and out, back and forth, in and out. And just having to readjust to society, how society advances fast as humans do. So it was just that, and just now that I look back, I feel like it wasn't that long ago, but it's like, yo, I'm a lot of years. I'm 29. I'll be 30 in November, and it's a lot of years that's just been going by like that. When I just feel like a couple years ago, I was just in a group home waiting to get for somebody to come pick me up or something like that, you know? So it's crazy how and my parents always told me like, yo, one day life is just going to pass by and you're going to be 30 and you don't even know it. Boy, was they not lying. It was not lying, you know, and a lot of stuff I took for granted, but I learned a lot as well coming, you know, everything is a blessing and a lesson. You know, that's how I look at it. So
that's awesome. You know, I remember my mom saying, and other moms saying, wait till you have kids, then you're going to get it. And, you know, you mentioned in and out until my first daughter came. Was that your aha moment? Was that your transformational moment? Do you remember that day? You know, where were you at? What happened there when you made a new decision and turned your back on that old lifestyle?
Like, it's crazy. Like, one would have thought, like, after I went to prison, that I would, like, coming home from prison would stop me from, you know, and that didn't stop me. Like, you know, I was still like, okay, yeah, whatever. I just went up there, gained a little bit of weight, got a little clearer in the face, but my mentality wasn't changed at all. Like, everything, like, my mentality was like, I still got to get fast money. I still got to eat. I still got to do this. And I really didn't have it wasn't no cause for what I was doing. So when I found out that when I was going to be a father, I was like, okay, now I need to grind overtime. And I was still BSing, you know, telling myself I'm grinding because I got a baby on the way. And it didn't really hit me until I was in the delivery room, you know, like when she came out and then I was like, and then, like, you know, a lot of babies come out crying and, you know, and just, no, not my daughter. No, she just came out eyes wide open, just staring around. She stared eyes, she locked eyes with me, and she smiled. She was smiling the day she came out. No lie, I have this on pictures. I'll share it with you guys in class. I have this on. When she came out, she locked eyes with me and smiled at me. When she did that shit, that was it's over. It's over. Like, you know, it ain't you can't risk this. She came out and looked exactly for you. She heard your voice for 9 months in there, and she came out and locked eyes with you, like, oh, this is you. I know you. And then at that moment, I was like, yeah, it's game time now.
That's an amazing testimony. And, you know, I've shared this story before, but I'm going to share it again. Just the power of, like, what it means to have another human being who you're responsible for and who depends upon you. Like, I had done 19 years in prison, and, you know, for the most part, you know, there was challenges, there were struggles. I mean, you're going to sleep every night in a 6x9. But in my 19th year, that's when my first son was born. And it was just like you said, that first time that, you know, my wife brought him to a family visit where I met him for the first time, and I held him and I locked eyes with him, and he looked at me right in the eyes, much like Elgin is saying his daughter locked her eyes with him, and time started getting real hard for me. Time started getting hard. And the last year and some change that I did was a real struggle. Like, there was times where I would call Rich and be in tears. Like, I need to be home. You know, my son needs me, my wife needs me. And so I definitely can relate to that experience of, you know, not only I got to do right by him, but I got to be with him. I got to be with him to help them along this journey of their life.
Yeah, because it was like a lot of stuff I was doing was like, you know, without any purpose, like whatever, like it's whatever's happening to me, like, you know, it really wasn't no cause. Like, I really wasn't tripping off it. I was young, reckless, wild, but now it's somebody I got to make it home to that is looking for me, you know? And then I was like, you know, this is a person that's always gonna love me and look for me and look up to everything that I do. Like, I'm their superhero, you know? So it's like, I can't even move like that no more. One false move is just, you know, and then I'll just be another statistic. We already, as men of color, has bad raps for being father as it is, you know? So it's like, I'm not trying to be another one to add to that statistic at all, you know? I want to give them the life that I never had, you know? So
that's awesome, Elgin. Let's talk about while on the inside and the outside, incarceration and reentry. And, you know, while you're on the inside, and we've had these similar conversations before. You gotta go? Okay. So we've had these conversations in the inside, you know, in terms of being in there and the support that is either there or not there inside the prison system. Do you feel that it was like conducive to changing your life? Were there opportunities there? And if there was something that you could fix about the system, what would it be?
I would say a lot of the time that I did incarcerated, a lot of their rehabilitation or reentry services was like, their idea was, here, we're just going to put you in this SRO. Like, you know, if you guys know what SRO is, it's a single room occupancy. Here, we just put you there. And if you're familiar with San Francisco, they're like, here, we'll put you in the Tenderloin. I'm not I never understood the quite logic of that, like, you know, and I'm wondering, like, where's these classes to help me learn things? Like, you know, y'all sentenced me to, like, I did a term of 3 years. I did 3 years, San Quentin and Solano, and not one, I didn't have a class. Like, we had MAC reps in our dorms and stuff that did that organized stuff on their own to try to give us, you know, but there was never no like institutionalized where, oh yeah, here's this class to help you gain these skills or nothing like that. So I kind of say that was lack. I didn't really receive too much help. I got the help mainly like from people that I knew, like, you know, I wouldn't say that like I don't understand what the rehabilitation process is or what they designed it. I don't know what it's intended to be, but it didn't really. I've just seen people just keep coming back and forth. So like, what are you guys doing here? Like, you know, and I've never understood that, and I've never understood what the angle was. Like, you know, it just baffles me.
There's a couple things I want to say. First and foremost, if those precious girls of yours need your attention, don't feel bad about breaking away. That's priority number one. Okay, we'll keep the tape rolling. Number two, you spoke about something that's really important. I think you said that while the institution itself didn't really provide the programs, there were people that you could go to. And I think it's instructive for us, because one of the things that we always talk about is the importance of proximate leadership, or people who have experienced the struggles that many of our incarcerated population currently deal with. And it sounds to me that Elgin had this resource in San Quentin. And I would argue that it's at most institutions, that if someone really wants to change their life, there's other people who are wearing blue, just like them, who are also taking those steps and looking to give some type of mentorship or peer support, or at the very least have a conversation about what's wanted and what's needed to re-enter society in a responsible way. Is that true for you?
Exactly. Like, it was rare. Like, it's so many people was incarcerated that was their own lawyers, their own, like, you know, it was facilitated. I'm like, yo, you guys providing more insight for helping us stay out than the people that are outside that are, you know, that actually have the actual knowledge to give us. And you're inside with me, you know? So a lot of my support was from peers, you know, locked up peers, and you know, you got your crowds, you know, you guys know, like, you got crowds, you got people that's doing them, and you got people that's want to go home, you know. And then I was inclined to be with the people that wanted to go home, because like, I'm not trying to be here 50 years old. I'm not trying to do none of that. Like, you know, I always was one to listen to my older peers, to what they had to say. Like, you know, especially if they were telling me something like to change, because you got people that's in there that's just older peers that's telling people how to come back, but like, and you know, leading crash dummies, and you got people that's telling you how to stay out. And I'm inclined to listen to them, because you know what's going on. You fighting for your life in here. There's people. I was in there with people life, but he like, never give another fight. I'm coming home. I'm gonna be back home. You know.
Right.
And that's the type of energy I needed around.
I think there's people that are. I think most people, you know, even the ones that are in their 50s and are still inside, they don't want to be there. But there's an old turn of phrase, right? Like being caught up, right? Like, I'm caught up. Like the statement itself implies that you have no power. But when someone's in that mind frame, like, you know, this is just how it is. This is how I was raised. This is the environment that I was raised in, and this is what I know. And they're not willing to challenge those beliefs. That's when they are, in fact, caught up and stuck. And so, you know, I want to commend you for challenging that. I know that, you know, you were raised in an environment, and, you know, subjected to the foster care system, which I've heard before is in many ways an extension of like a punishment model of prison. And you fought through all of those negative beliefs, and you made a new decision for yourself. and that's commendable.
Thank you.
And what about reentry, Elgin? Like, what have been some of the biggest challenges? You've been out for 3 years now.
Yes.
So what have been some of the challenges of being a justice involved person out here, whether it's housing or
Yo, like trying to get a job that's not a dishwasher or a janitor. Like, bro, like in my resume, and every one of my resumes, I let them know I'm very computer frequent. I know what's going on with Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, Word, everything. I'm fluent in it, and like I've always been turned down. You know, like I'll keep getting turned down. Just basic jobs, housing. Like if you're not a single mother, like I'm sorry to say, like if they don't really have things for fathers, just like housing and shit like that. We really got to go through the mud. They're telling us like, hey, go stay in the shelter. Go, you want some housing? Go stay in the shelter and hope for a bed, and then we could try to see what you get you in this family program. It's really kind of like it's been a process. It was a process for me to get the ball rolling. I would say within the last everything got really going within the past year and a half for me. It's like stable and everything. So I'm freshly adjusting to how I want to be, as opposed to where I was just trying to survive.
And there's just another example of some of the extension of like a cultural dialogue about justice involved people, about what we're capable of, about what we deserve, right? I mean, if you think about it, I think it's in the California Penal Code like 666 times that the purpose of prison is to punish people who do wrong. And I think that's something that's, sadly deeply ingrained within the psyche of many Americans. And, what can we do? What can we do but our very best to show that, we are contrite for the crimes we've committed, remorseful and willing to do something positive in our community. And not only that we're willing to do it, but that we're capable. I mean, look at all of the talents that you have. And I'm not just talking about your impersonations. I mean, you're participating in a program that requires 4 hours a night, 5 days a week, while raising 2 daughters by yourself. Like that takes an amazing and an extraordinary amount of grit, resilience, and ability. So it's just refreshing to know that we're in this work to really equip individuals like yourself, the one thing that you haven't had, which is an opportunity. So.
Absolutely. Elgin, I was thinking the other day, it was last night in Ready for Life, a couple of us got emotional. It seems like in the last 3 months, at least, everybody's got emotional at least once. And I was thinking, what about Elgin? When was the last time he got emotional? And not that anybody has to, not that you have to, but there's been that moment with almost everybody. And my question is, like, have you had that moment, or what was that moment that, hit your heart, or something that was said or stuck out to you?
Honestly, I don't know if we can mention our colleagues' names on here, but I don't know if we can. But Katie, I listened to Katie's story, and just hearing her and the things that she went through and how she's bouncing back as a person and making a commitment to just do this. Like, that's awesome, bro. Like, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for anybody. Everybody has a chance. There's the flip side of the coin for everybody, and it's just, it's just us wanting to turn over that new leaf. It starts with us, with us, but when she explained her story and the story with her kids and stuff, it was like, like, I didn't really show it. Like, I think I may have turned my camera off for a second. I was just sitting there like, well, like, wow. Like, just cause like, I thought I had it rough coming up, but it's other people that's going through it way worse, and they still come to do this, and try to do this to get their life right, so that entire just the idea of that is just touching itself.
Yeah, that's dope. What about your experience with the leadership contract? Would you be willing to share a little bit?
Oh, I love, me personally, I don't know if y'all seen how like juiced, when I was like, yo, I'm ready to do this now. Like, I didn't even need to write it down. Like, yo, because I've always wanted, because it feel like I haven't been in a space where I can just express how, like, yo, how I went through shit and how I feel about it. And y'all gave me the floor to do that, and where I could be myself and not be judged, because I'm sitting around people that just like me, you know, that's just like me and been through this stuff and been judged and all of this stuff. So just being able to bare my soul, I felt like it was like really like after that, my shoulders kind of like you know, like they dropped down, like, you know, and it was, and I felt everybody was genuinely supportive. Everybody had genuine opinions, you know, and I loved it.
That's dope.
One of the things I wanted to ask you was what about, you know, it's a multifaceted program. You know, you have the leadership development part, the digital literacy part, the financial literacy part. I know that you're on LinkedIn Learning and going after various certifications, diversity, equity, inclusion, you know, different professional workplace skills. And what has been the most impactful part of the Ready for Life program for you so far?
Honestly, I believe the guy that just left, Raja. Yeah, that like they're just learning about. I've been studying this on the geometrics. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, I've been on that.
Geometrics.
And yeah. So I think that right there can be like might be the X factor to what I'm trying to unlock in life. You know, just having that
digital literacy.
Yes, the digital literacy. Yes, exactly. That may be the key factor because everything we live in a time right now. Like, look at cryptocurrency right now. It's crazy right now. Like, you know, so we live in a time where everything is going to be digital pretty soon anyway. So if it's not already, so that right there is the key, I feel, and that's been the most thing that's been the most for me, like exclusively. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, the digital age, the age of information, and who can get it out the fastest. You think about companies like Sears, they can't even exist anymore, as Amazon just came out. And if you want to stay caught up, and that's some of the thinking behind the scenes with Jason and other of our directors, is that, you know, justice involved people, we need to have that digital literacy in place, whether it's learning like what you talked about earlier, you know, Google Suite or Microsoft Suite, and to be literate with those, because the person who says like, well, I don't know how to use a cell phone, or I don't really know, you know, how to open up an email or write an email. I mean, I didn't know how to write an email. I had never written an email 2 years, 5 months ago, and never used PowerPoint. And to see like Jason, I'm always like saying, this guy creates some awesome PowerPoints. He does our pitch decks and business plans, and just coming from knowing him in there to all of a sudden coming out here and then having the ability to design, having the ability to create, having the ability to write, having the ability to put it all together. Anybody could do it. It just takes a little bit of learning, right, Jay?
Well, I think that you're spot on. It's not really about ability. It's about willingness, right? Like, and I think that willingness, I know that willingness can only be found between your ears, right? Like we come out of institutions where there's not a lot of resource, there's not a lot of programming or opportunities to gain training, right? But there is also things you can do. They have college, they have books you can read, right? And there's different resources that you can make the most of. The same is true out here. So if I come out of incarceration and I'm telling myself, oh, you know, I was in for 20 years, I don't know technology, so I'm at a disadvantage. If I'm telling myself that story, then I'm not going to have a posture of learning. But if I say, wow, I'm finally free. I have a freaking Mac computer here that my wife gifted me with, and I have a smartphone. Okay, what do I need to know to do what I want to do? Like that type of attitude is gonna produce different results, right?
And
so,
and I kind of found it like when I was locked up, I was around a few people that was like that. Like, yo, like, what do you do? Like, you know, it's phones in there. You know, it's phone. Everybody knows phones in there. But like, a couple dudes really didn't know what to do, and I was like, I'm showing, but it's like, wow, it's really like that. And we really got to be up to par with that, you know, because everything is changing.
That's real talk.
That sounds like a business idea right there. Maybe for the elderly or something like that, setting up classes and getting paid.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Step one.
I want to throw this out there because I have evidence. Undeniable evidence right now, that the key word to success in anything, not just digital literacy, but it's having an attitude of curiosity. And my evidence comes in the form of my 2.5-year-old son. So we have one of those little Android tablets, right?
Mhm.
And I installed like some learning games on it. I'm not exaggerating. 3 days. And that kid is swiping, choosing, and he's at 2.5 years old. He can barely string like complete sentences together, but he is more digitally literate today than I was the day I walked out of prison.
Hey, I just got my daughter, my oldest daughter. I just got her a tablet. She knows how to get to learning games. She knows how to get to kids YouTube. And I was like, whoa. And she barely can talk. She can say stuff, but I'll be like, what are you saying? Like, I don't know. But
right.
But that tablet, she knows what she's doing there. She knows how to turn the volume up. I was like,
yeah, there you go. And I'm asserting that it comes from our children having this curious mind frame. Like they want to figure stuff out. They want to know how it works. Like, what is this, Daddy? And what is this? And because they have that attitude, which we all have the ability to cultivate, they learn.
Yeah, that creativity as well. Like I think about your son Jax. I mean, 2.5 years old.
2.5 years old.
And when you went to the Bay Area a few weeks ago, and I was there at your house with Jax, and I was showing him what's that song? Baby Shark. Baby Shark. McDonald had a farm on YouTube. And I remember getting the text. And you know how the text notification comes down at the bottom of the phone during Baby Shark? And then all of a sudden Jax just went, like, he got rid of it.
Swiped it up.
That thing out of there because it was interrupting his video. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know how to do that. So a lot of times you hear, that a lot of your learning is that first 5 years. And if they're learning on a whole nother creative level, I just can imagine what's possible, especially in this future age. The next thing I wanted to talk about with you, Elgin, is our tagline is working together to restore lives and heal communities. Working together to restore lives and heal communities. And we're coming to a point where, we're restructuring that to working together to transform lives and heal communities. And both of those things have gone on in our program. And I just wanted to talk about the community that we've built through Zoom. And Jason just had the opportunity to meet with most of our Ready for Life cohort the other day. And I'm not sure if you're able to make it or not. But the community that has been built there over the last 3 months has come across for me as one of the most powerful things that I've experienced with the most diverse group of people that I've experienced. And I wanted to get your thoughts on the community that you're a part of there in the Ready for Life virtual pilot signature program.
Oh, man. I think, I don't know, this is a little bit off topic, but I think the word community was formed with communications and unity, and they put that word together. But bro, like it's community, when I say community, it's not over exaggeration. Like it's a real community of people that are helpful. Y'all become like a second family to me in a way. It's like, even like a prime example, I was, I believe probably like a month or almost 2 months ago, I was in a bind. I think I was waiting for first payment from Ready for Life, but I was in a bind with my kids. I didn't have no diapers. I didn't have some food. I was lacking on a lot of stuff. And I mentioned it in the Slack. I think I mentioned it. I don't think I was asking for anything. I don't think I asked for anything at all. I think I was like, yo, you guys know when the stuff is coming because I'm kind of lacking on diapers and stuff like that. I think one of the first response I believe I got was from you or Elizabeth, and it was like, "What's your Cash App?" I was like, "Whoa, like, yo, like." And then once that happened, it was a bunch of answers. I got a bunch of answers like, "Yo, your Cash App." Richard, Jason, I believe Roxy, a bunch of people. It was just like, "Yo, here, I understand." Claudine, I was like, "Yo, you need to come get kids clothes." And I didn't. It was unexpected because I wasn't even asking like that. I was just trying to find out when I can, because I was like, okay, I could get by, but I'm like, it's getting hectic. But I wasn't even asking like that, and the outpour of support I received was like unexpected. I did not expect it at all, and I'm forever grateful for that. And it was just like, yo, this is the kind of world that this needs to be, like, like this is the kind of place that we need to like turn the world into, because I'm getting kind of touched up, worked up talking about it, because I like, yo, that really helped me out and it was so unexpected. I haven't known anybody here for like even a year yet, a full year, but willing to reach out and help me in the time of need and help my kids in the time of need. That was probably the biggest thing that happened to me this year. You know, like that was probably the biggest thing I can say that happened to me this year, because it was so unexpected, and it was coming from a place of generosity. It wasn't no judgment, no nothing like that. Yo, we've been here. It was like, yo, we've been here. Then I got put on with furniture. I furnished I have a kitchen table. I have a whole entire new bedroom now. You know, it's like, yo, like, and if I didn't sign up or inquire about the program, I wouldn't even have found out what type of people you guys all were, and I'm forever grateful.
And I want to say something to that. I mean, it was Elizabeth who reached out to you first, and that's one of the things that we did with our new knowledge of technology. We created a Slack channel for our Ready for Life associates, our crop organization team, those who are partnering with us. And so in all the different channels, there's the ability to reach out to one another in a community, in a digital community, right? And I remember you sharing that, you know, like, when is the funds going to drop, or you know, it was probably close to the date or on the date, and Elizabeth reaching out, and Roxy reaching out, and Ted.
I didn't even, I think Ted called me from the mountains or somewhere. It was like, yo, I don't know where he was at, but he called me, like, he called my phone, like, okay, well, it's your Cash App. Like, well, I'm like, yo, like, thanks so much, dude. Like, I was able to fill my house up with groceries and diapers and stuff for the kids. So it was
right there.
I think one of the most profound lessons I learned was the old African proverb about, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go with others. And it's so profound to me, because like for a lot of my life, I was thinking that I was taking care of what I needed to take care of for me, and I was going fast, but I wasn't going anywhere. And I think that's probably true for a lot of us when we were in some of those old ways of thinking, whether it was like fast money, or I'm going to do me and I'm going to take care of me. I don't have to worry about anything but myself. Like, we were in a mindset of going fast. Like, we're going fast. Like, well, I got to make the next move, or I'll make the next move. But you're not going anywhere except prison, right? Or, you know, worst case scenario, 6 feet deep. But when you really dial in and let it penetrate your heart, the value of going with others, that's when we go far. It's together.
I used to liken my moves, like what I was doing on the street. I used to liken it to when I was just running wild. I was just running on a treadmill, because you're gonna fall. First off, at some point you just run on the treadmill. You're not going nowhere, and you keep trying to pick up the pace. You're gonna fall. You're gonna fall. You're gonna go down. You're gonna go down, and that's what I looked at how I was living. I was just on a treadmill.
Nobody wins in that game.
I wasn't going nowhere. I thought I was doing something. But then I fall. Jail time.
That's a great analogy.
There you go.
And an add-on to that is that, like, one of the analogies we use today is the bus analogy, right? Is the first thing we do is we make sure we got the right people on the bus, and then we make sure the right people are in the right seats on the bus. And I just want to say that I'm super proud to have you on the bus with us, because we have direction and purpose, and you add so much value to what we do.
Yeah, man, I'm so glad to be on the bus, man. I got an exclusive Clipper card to get on your bus.
Elgin, there's a quote by one of my favorite leadership teachers, and it says, John Maxwell, he said, people don't care how much you know unless they know how much you care. And, you know, I always say that when we're on the inside, I had to get free on the inside before I could get free out here. And now that we've been free out here, there's a lot of support. Crop organization has a lot of support. A minute ago, you talked about, you know, some house furnishings, you know, the bedroom set, and I think about the person who reached out in that way. Him and his wife, Rob and Terry McClurg.
Yes, Rob and Terry.
And they were instrumental early on while we were still incarcerated. We have a book, you can see it behind me over here. It's called Men Built for Others, and we wrote it while we were on the inside. It's available on Amazon. Cheap plug. But famous plug. But it's an amazing book. Nobody's ever read that book without saying It's been a powerful transformational experience for them, and tearful and emotional. But Rob, we talk about Rob and how he inspired us at the back of that book, and he has remained our friend since he's been free. And him and his wife do some work in the furniture business, and he reaches out and says, hey, if any of you have any friends that are justice involved, we'd like to bless them with some furniture. Give me a wish list of what people need for free, and we'll deliver it. And they live in Monterey. And what was that? I put it on the Slack channel, and Elgin says, hey, I need a few things for my daughters. And I tell Rob, and then he reaches out to you, and then he ends up visiting you. What was that like, Elgin?
Twice. They came twice because they came back and brought something else. Oh man, it was dope. They were really down to earth people. They were really cool people. I I walked out. I tried to give Rob the firm normal handshake. He pulled me in for the bro hug, like everything. So it was everything. It was cool. Terry was really down to earth. And then I found out that they're one of them was from East Palo Alto or something like that. So they knew a couple of our families, extended family members and stuff like that. And they were really cool. Really cool. They seemed like it was like they really were happy to be doing it. It was like, and it wasn't like a problem that they even drove all the way from Monterey. It was, you can even tell with their attitude and then how they were carrying themselves. And it just goes to show once again, just like, you never know who's there and wants to help.
Absolutely. What do you got, Jay?
So I have a question. So this week, in our personal leadership development, we're talking about vision. And I'm curious for you, Elgin, what is your vision at the end of this program and 5 years from now?
Well, at the end of this program, my vision is to be, first off, IC3 Digital certified. I've been taking some time to study that because I'm trying to just get that. And then once I get once we've been studying the practice tests in class, I feel like I can really ace it. So that's my vision for the end of this. And within 5 years, I just want to be in a nice, I heard about a $90,000 a year job yesterday in class, man, and I'm really interested and intrigued by that. So, that's I think about in 5 years, that's what I want to be doing, in a well-paying job for my family involved in tech. And I don't want to be living. I don't want to live in Cali anymore. So I'm thinking about moving to Arizona.
Okay.
So in Arizona within 5 years, Arizona. First off, the housing prices out there. I don't know if y'all know about the housing. We getting robbed up here. Let's put it that way.
It's tough in Cali.
We getting robbed up here. So, but it's real nice down there. I've been down there a couple times this year, but that in 5 years I want to be lived out there. Got my girls running around out somewhere, doing something in the desert somewhere. I don't know, but
it gets pretty hot in Arizona.
Yeah, yes, it's good. But I live in Stockton right now. They cousins. They cousins.
That's the truth.
It's like 97 right now. It was 80. It was 87 at 11 p.m. last night. So, but yeah, but then in 5 years, that's why I'm going to be out there with my family, just living and working,
That's great.
That's great.
But I want to be in tech though. I want to be in tech for sure. That's
definitely.
For sure, because I'm an avid gamer, and that can open up so many doors to me in that world as well. So
my stepsons are gamers, man, and they put in a lot of hours. They might average at least 8 hours a day, and you're still doing it at 29, and so we got to test out, get you competing against them or working with them or something.
Oh man, it's whatever, man. It's all good.
What's your game of choice?
Right now I'm playing NBA 2K. I'm on NBA 2K. I'm balling right now, but I tend to go to Call of Duty. I tend to go to Call of Duty and not a lot. If I feel like getting angry, I'll get on that. But if not, but mainly just 2K or some wrestling or something.
Well, I've seen the 2K tournaments on TV where the prize is like, $300,000 or something. So that's what I tell my stepson. Hey, you're getting to the age where if you're going to put in that many hours, find out a way to monetize.
Find out a way to get some money for it.
At first he was like, "Oh, you got a podcast," and and I'm like, hey, look, we got 941 subscribers on YouTube, you know, and they're with what 59 more will become creators and able to monetize and able to step into that and do ads. And we've learned a lot in the last 2.5 years. But so now he's like, oh,
you said 52 more subscribers?
Yeah, 52 more subscribers.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna push the word out. I'm gonna get that done. I'm gonna help this get achieved.
Thank you. And my point is that when they don't just play, but find a way to use it, record your stuff. So I got him a microphone and the camera, and you know, I'm just trying to inspire him right now. He's 17 years old, Mateo, the youngest, and you know, I think he's really good.
It's a future. It's a future for that. It's a future for him in that. It's kids. If he watches YouTube, you look at the streamers. There's people supporting their whole family off streaming videos.
Yeah,
streaming videos. You know. So
yeah.
I know. Look, I know this is a little bit off topic, but I have to confess, my son Jax right now, he's into race cars.
Oh yeah.
And so I went to YouTube, and it shows like people playing. I think it's GTA, but they're like racing like, and that stuff is gripping. It's gripping. I'm like, this is interesting. Like just watching people play video games. Yeah. And then, you know, initially I was like, you know, who would want to watch other people play video games? Like, I don't mind playing, but why would but I'm watching. I'm like, man, this is actually interesting.
Yeah, this is my genetics. I've been since 5 years old. When my mom used to go to work late night in her graveyard shift, I'm waking up. PlayStation. Here we go. You know, 2 in the morning. 2 in the morning. Yeah, I can't quite do that no more. You know, I got the little ones so that's over. They up at 7 in the morning, so I gotta get sleep. Yeah.
Well, Elgin, I love hearing your story, brother, and I'm gonna say it again. You know, I admire the work you're doing as a dad, and the work that you're doing every night, 4 hours a night, and Ready for Life. I see you in that. You know, there's a quote that comes to my mind right now. It says, "See a person as they could be," and instead of that with those limiting ideas of, oh, he was incarcerated before, oh, he was in foster care before, oh, he's a single dad, you know, how will he do it? Forget all that. Don't think of the ways that I can. Think of the ways that I can. I will. How will I? When will I? And I see you in that $90,000 a year job, wherever you want to do, and beyond. And beyond. Everything builds upon everything. All the continued learning, the LinkedIn learning, the IC3. You know, at my boss told me that when I first got out, I was stressed in the first like 3 months trying to learn new technology, and he told me 3 months from now that stuff will be easy for you. 3 months for you, I'll have this same conversation with you, and it'll be easy. And 3 months later, it was. And now things that are hard to some are. I'm going at a fast speed, and I want to get faster and learn. So I just want to encourage you, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for coming on the Prison Post. You know, I'll leave you and Jay if you have any closing words. I would like to ask you with a minute or two, Elgin, there will be future people that go through our Ready for Life program, and they'll probably watch the podcast and see the Ready for Life associates, the first cohort, you know, the originals, the positive OGs, you know what I'm saying? The originals. And what would you say to them, casting vision for their future? What would you say to them about Ready for Life?
Oh man, Ready for Life is what you make of it. What you're gonna put in it is what you're gonna get out of it. If you come, as long as you come with the willingness to change and an open mind, it's gonna come to you. It's gonna come to you. You just can't. Sometimes we be so stagnated in one frame of mind, we're afraid to expand. We got to expand and open that mind up, man.
That's right. Jay, closing words?
A few weeks ago, Elgin did his leadership contract, and I just want to declare it for the world that he is living into himself being a selfless, affectionate, and trustworthy leader of his own life. And I just want to share with you how much I appreciate you, your commitment to your daughters, to yourself, to your future, and to being a real pillar in this community that we're building. So thank you so much, Elgin.
I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for having me, and I can't wait to 2 hours from now. See y'all again.
That's right.
Yeah, thank you again, Elgin. It's been another episode of the Prison Post. Overall episode number 51, number 34 with the video. I want to thank Nate Darling and Darling New Media for helping us out in all the ways that he does. If you want to start a podcast, you can reach out to him to learn more about Ready for Life, crop organization, digital literacy, financial literacy, jobs and business-to-business sales in tech, and leadership development training. That's what we do. Look us up at croporganization.org. And please hit that subscribe button, that red subscribe button on YouTube. It's not hard. Hit it, watch a show. I guarantee you'll be inspired. And look forward to the next episode. We'll see you there. Take care. Thank you for listening to The Prison Post, a production of the Crop Organization. We'll be sharing more stories from the world of prison reform and restorative justice, so please join us. You can listen to The Prison Post on all major podcasting platforms. Subscribe to our video cast on YouTube and like us on Facebook at The Prison Post and at Creating Restorative Opportunities and Programs.